Hello everyone, this is Jonathan from GameCode.club and today we are going to be doing a game, another game. It's a maths game. Yay! So in this maths game we will be using our conditionals. You will have 1 to 9 steps. One of the steps is this video, so hopefully you're on the right step. But let's actually play the game to see what happens. Let's go down to the bottom, let's press play and we click on the background and Ada here is asking us a question. She's asking us a math question in a maths game. All right, so can anyone answer 7 plus 3? Now, I think it's going to be 10. Let's click on 10. That's right. Thank you very much, Ada. And 2 times 9, what do we think that is? Now, obviously it's 18, but let's try and see if we can let's get it wrong to see what she does. And she's like, no, 2 times 9 is 18. Thanks for playing. Game over. All right. So you'll see on the top right hand corner, there is one score because I only answered one question correctly. All right. So let's get into the game itself. So we start, we minimize it, and we see on the actors that we have, well, we have a stage, we have a tinker block, which is a score, and then we have the person or something or the thing that's announcing it. All right. So on the actual game stage, we have on start, which is this stage, the maths game, and then when you click on the background, it will change to the actual stage. So let's have a look inside. So this is what the stage is called. So this is what it will go to when you click. This is what happens when the game is over. And obviously this is what we all see it right at the beginning. But let's have a look at some of the, let's have a look at the score block. So you see it's something similar to the stage. So it's on start, it's hide. And then when the actual stage switches to stage, when the background switches to stage, you can show it. Now, this is going to be the same thing for everything because obviously we don't want it seen when you have the actual name of the actual game. You have to click onto the background in order to get into the game, and then you can see everything. All right. So that's for step 2 and for step 3. Now, for step 4, it's this is where we actually put in the code. So if we click on the announcer, which is Ada, on start we hide because we don't want to see her right at the beginning. And when we click on the background, just as we've done with the score, it will switch to the stage, and then she will show. Yeah, just like this. So when the background switches to stage, she'll show. Now, when we actually did press play, she had a little bit of an animation and then she asked a question. Now, to ask a question, you will find that particular block. Well, let's just see. Well, you can type in ask and you'll get it up. That won't be a problem. Here we are. So when you actually put in the block, you have the first section and you ask your question. You can ask any question. It doesn't have to be a maths game. I mean, it's called the maths game, but I would like you to use your own game or any kind of any kind of quiz show you want to do. And following the 3 boxes after, you have the choices. Obviously, one of them has to be the correct answer for the person to choose. All right. So once that's done, that's step 5, and on to step 6. This is where we get into the conditionals. Now, um, when you answer the question, where the player is asking the question, they're either going to get it right or they're going to get it wrong. That's basically the 2 ways they're going to do it. So, in order to make sure that when they click on the right answer, that they get a score, what we're going to do is we're going to use an if conditional. It's an if else block, and it comes in 3 parts. So we have this conditional, we have the answer block, and the answer to 3 plus 7 is 10. So you actually write the answer there, which corresponds with the answer that you've put in the first block, or it could be the second or third, but they have to correspond with each other and they'll communicate. So obviously we put that in here. And so if the player gets it right, we send a message to the score, just like we did in the previous game. You add a score to the score. She animates, the announcer animates, and then she says or he says or it says, "That's right, perfect, well done." It's completely up to you what you put in the block. So let's put that if they do get it right. But what happens if they don't get it right? What happens then? So if they get it right, we obviously put this. Else, which is our conditional, we put animate and we say, no, it's not. Obviously, 3 plus 7 is 10, and it's not 25 or 30 or 103. So and we add that to the end of the question, and that is a full question there with adding scores, with animation, with making sure that you're answering or making sure that the player knows whether they've got it right or wrong. All right, so let's go down to step 7. That is what we were saying, adding the score if they were right. And this is what happens if the player gets it wrong. And so on step 9, what I'd like you to do is make your own game. Make sure that you add at least 3 questions. And at the end of the game, at the end of the game, here we can have this. You can say switch background to end. All right, so you hide everything and you say switch background to end. And then that way it goes straight to, let's have a look. It goes straight to game over. All right. So if you can answer, if you can come up with a quiz, your own quiz, it doesn't have to be a maths game. It can be any kind of quiz game that you like, but just make sure that you have at least 3 questions for the for the player. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's other people in your class that actually want to play the game. Imaginative, fun. It's completely your game. All right, guys, have fun, and if you need me, I'm